Hello. For the three problems that you sent, the first one being this one, to do it with the calculator, we first need to read the problem. The manufacturer claims that your new car gets 31 miles per gallon. You suspect miles per gallon is more for your car. The 51 trips on the highway that you took averaged 31.9 miles per gallon, and standard deviation for the 51 trips was 5.9. What can you conclude at alpha being 0.1? For this study, we should use, it's a t-test, and it's a mean. Because we found average, it's mean. The reason it's a t-test, even though your sample size is large, is 51, this standard deviation is from the sample, not a population. So if your standard deviation is not from a population, you should use a t-test. The null hypothesis is always equal to. We said mean, so it would be mean. P would be for a proportion. And then the claim was the 31, so this is 31. The second one, the outside two stay the same, and then whatever you're testing. We said we fill more than, so we would go down here for the more than and click greater than. We did say it was a t-test, so it's t. Now to find the values, we can go over to our calculator. You want to go under stat, over to test, and then we said it was a t-test. So Z and T is here, proportion is down here, but this one is a t-test. Hit enter. We have statistics, and I put these in already. Our average in our null hypothesis was 31. And then from the sample, we had 31.9 and standard deviation 5.9 with a sample size of 51. And then we were testing greater than. And you hit calculate. There's your t-value. Here. 1.089. Here's the p-value. 0.1406. So those come right from here. Now notice that the p-value is more than our alpha. The alpha was at the top, 0.1 significance level. So 0.14 is greater than 0.1. So it tests greater. When it's greater, you fail to reject. So less than you would reject. Greater, fail to reject. That means it's not significantly enough information to show greater than. So it would be this one. It suggests that the population mean is not significantly more than 31. So fail to reject, you put not significantly more than, or not enough to. Insufficient evidence is another keyword you look for. Interpret the p-value in the context of the study. So the p-value tells you that the mean average, which was 31, if you take another 51 trips on a highway, there's 14 because you change it to a percent. And the p-value here, if we change this to a percent, we have 14.06. So there's a 14.06% chance that the sample mean miles per gallon will be greater than the 31.9. The significance level, remember that was 0.1, changed to a percent is 10% chance that we would end up falsely concluding that the population mean of your car is more than 31. So So the alpha tells you the chances of being wrong, falsely concluding. The next problem, you do not have to do the graphs on here. Yeah, at one point they had one where you picked A, B, C, D, which graph it was, but I don't remember seeing any. So you only need to find the values. And in this one we wanted the correlation. For the correlation, that would be under, I believe it's under test. Linear regression test. So you go to test and down to linear regression. You hit enter. You have to have the list L1 and L2. And we were testing I just wanted to show you that I plugged the numbers already in. Linear regression. I would test not equal to, because we're showing that it's away from the line. And then we hit calculate. And what did they want? They wanted the correlation. There it is. Negative 0.91308. So it was stat over to test down to linear regression. Hit enter. I put the numbers. X was list 1, Y was list 2, and I tested not equal to, and then go to calculate. It actually gives you your equation right here. It also gives you your T if you needed it. In this case, we wanted R. It's a negative 0.913. The last one, finding standard deviation, sample. Okay, one way of doing it, since you're using a calculator, first thing you need to do is put it the list. So I'm going to go here, and clear my list, because right now I have the last problem in there. So you go down to clear list, and then it's L1, so second L1. Commas right here, and second L2, and that's going to clear my list. So now there's nothing in the list. And I'm going to put these values 18, 14, 9, 11, 27, and 4. And then you can hit second and quit. Go back to stat. Go over one to calc. And this will give you all your variable statistics. It's in list 1, and then just calculate. So the average is 13.8. If you needed to add them all up, this means sum is 83. If you square them and then add them, 1467. Now these two are your standard deviations. The first one is the sample. And notice it said round 1 decimal place, so this would round to 8.0, or just 8. And then this is the population standard deviation, 7.3. So the sigma is the population, S is the sample. And then this tells you how many there are. Now, if you needed the 5-number summary, there's your smallest value, your lower quartile, your median, your upper quartile, and your largest value. So it also